I was like, and I'm just like, wow, it was the best investment. I never knew. My dentist at the time just thought I'd marry his daughter probably, so he didn't know how much pussy he'd get me in the long run. But it worked out pretty good. So,
come looking for you to collect?
No, he's still my dentist, so
right on.
God forbid something happens, I got to go back and see him. I mean, we've been broken up for a long time. She's married, has 2 kids, but when I go, if I have any dental problems, I just fly back to him, and he's great. He gets me right in, but it's still always a little weird. Like, just little shit now, like my girlfriend now, who's not insecure, but she's pretty cool about everything, but even just little shit like that, she's like, so your dentist is still your ex-girlfriend's dad? I was like, yeah, he's the best. Fuck it. I mean, what are we going to do?
Look at this smile.
Yeah, what do you want? Yeah, I mean, she's married. What are you going to, you think I'm just going to, just let me get my teeth fixed. He hooks it up. He'll get me right in, and he's like the best dentist in the world, so she's like, all right.
Does he give you the gas?
Yeah.
I always ask for gas, pay for the extra. When I had insurance, I would go in and I would pay out of pocket for the gas, even for teeth cleaning.
Really?
Even for teeth cleaning.
Like, it makes me really anxious just being in here. They're like, all right, you want the gas? I'm like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Turn the oxygen down.
Well, that's why I didn't go for a long time, because my dentist in Wyoming was awful, and he fucking hurt me, and I remember riding my bike home. I was like, this hurt, and I was like, I'll just never go to the dentist again.
Yeah, that same
which is a bad idea, but
same experience. The nice guys will put like that pink gel on, and then they'll stick it. My childhood dentist would just jab me with the needle, and so I was the same way.
This dude just ripped out one of my wisdom teeth, and I just remember, I'll never forget. I was like 20. I was just riding my bike home. It was fucking cold, and my mouth hurt. I was like, man, fuck that dude, and I'm not going to the dentist ever again. And then I didn't for like 2 Olympics, and then I had to go. Like an idiot.
So, sharing similar experiences and things in common that we have, Richie, maybe you should tell them another thing that we have in common with them.
Yeah, so you obviously don't know, but you've been on This Is Not Happening.
Yeah.
So have we.
You guys have?
Yeah. Airey told the story that involved us.
Oh, really? Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Which story?
The hunt for the edible.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that was you guys?
We're the 2 kids in the hunt for the edible.
Oh, shit, I got to listen to it again then. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Did you guys know he was going to do it?
He told that like years later. We probably did that in like 2012, maybe 2011, and then This Is Not Happening was like 2016 it came out.
So who saw it first?
I did.
You're like, holy shit, this is up?
So I saw it pop up, and it was like Hunt for the Edible, and I was like, holy shit. Because he had told the story like back in the day when it happened on his podcast, like, oh, it made these guys' day, like they were so stoked. So we were actually driving to California, listening to it, all giddy.
Yeah.
And so I saw that it popped up, and I started watching it. And then as soon as he started talking, he's like, and then I was in Philadelphia, and I was like, and I sent it to him. I'm like, dude, we were on fucking Comedy Central.
Awesome. Yeah, you got on there before I did. Have you seen him since and told him?
I saw him. So he was out here last year. Did the Storyteller show with Simone and
I was on one of those nights. Yeah.
It was dope. I think I came down on Friday night.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went up to him. I was like, yo.
Oh, really? He's such a cool dude, man. When I was in LA, I always said he was the realest dude, man. And he would call out people. Everybody in LA just pretend like everybody's the best, except for Airey. Airey'd be like, look at that fucker over there just circling the most famous person. Like, Airey just did. He was the realest dude. I still think he's like the realest comedian. There's a lot of bullshit.
Sickler sees like he's a real ass dude.
Sickler's real, too. Sickler is really real. Sickler's real, but he still play the game a little bit. But Airey just plays his own game. But Sickler's the nicest, coolest. Sickler's another dude that's just been so good to me when he didn't have to be, because he's just a real dude, So he's the new thing I've been saying is he's a guy I root for, and he's definitely. I'm excited for. I think everything's coming together for him. So it couldn't happen to a better dude.
I got to get you on the Honeydew.
I know. I'm going to go out there at some point. We talked about it. We did a show. We're trying to get him here to do a live Honeydew here.
Oh, sick.
Do Thursday, Friday, Saturday shows at Comedy Works, and then do a live Honeydew on Sunday, which would be fucking awesome. I wouldn't have to fly out there. But I definitely, I know he'll put me on whenever, and I want to do it, but I just don't. I love it here. I don't want to go to L.A. So if I would have released that book, I would have done like a podcast tour to push it, but now I love it here in Denver, so I don't want to go to L.A. But whenever I have to, it'll be to do the Honeydew and a few others. So
Yeah, Denver's a good spot.
So
yeah.
speaking on like Denver and LA, and obviously you went out to LA and did comedy out there. What is the difference on doing comedy in Denver and LA? And do you think someone starting off needs to go to LA or New York, or could they do it here in Denver?
No, if you're starting off, you should do it here in Denver or wherever you live. LA is like, they always say, it was good for me to go to LA because I learned about LA, but if you want to be a comedian, you should go to New York because you can get up more. And what they always say is let LA bring you to LA. When LA's ready for you, they'll come get you. And I think that was, but I tell that advice to people and they're like, whatever. The same thing. People would tell me, oh, like LA's hard. Yeah. And I'd be like, oh, it's hard for you, but I'm the best comedian in Vegas. We'll see. And then you go out there. And now if I'm on the road, if I'm in Phoenix, someone will say, hey, I'm thinking about moving to LA. I'm like, man, LA's hard. I wouldn't do it. I give them the reasons they shouldn't do it. But I can see in their eyes, they're like, oh, well, that was hard for you, but I'm the best comedian in Phoenix. So you should go. You go to LA, you learn. It was just like probably going to college. But as far as like a bad thing that I did in LA, which I think a lot of people do, you always think someone important's going to be at the show. So you just do your best 5-7 minutes every time. You never really work on new shit. And you don't get to do any long sets. Everything in LA is between 5 and 8 minutes. So, I mean, it's cool. You get to see your heroes and you'll be on a show with, it's good as a fan to be a comedian in LA, but I don't think you get any better. So, and this scene is like the best. This Comedy Works here is probably the best club in the country besides the Comedy Store and the Cellar.
Really?
It's considered, the best. And that's another hard thing for me because they do everything right. This Comedy Works downtown, low ceilings. People are set pretty much on top of each other. They take your phones. So when I go on the road, it's like, oh, man, I just miss home. So, especially they take your phones is another thing.
So they do that for all the shows?
Every show.
Oh, right
so they put your phone in a little sleeping bag, and then I'll go on the road. I'll go to Vegas, and then I'll be performing. It'll be going pretty good. But then, there's some chick in the second row. I can just see the glare. Like, this bitch, okay, maybe she'll put it away. But then I'm just so, this bitch, no matter what I say, she's going to look at that fucking phone. And
do you address it?
Yeah, sometimes. But over time, and just go through with it. Because it'll just make you mad. You're just like, well, why the fuck are you in here? So you just get spoiled here. They take such good care of you, and every big comic in the world. I think they're going to do a surprise Chappelle show this weekend, which is crazy. He'll sell out Red Rocks and wherever, but he'll come in and do it for 300 people. And luckily, working at that club so much, I can just come in at any time and hang out. So it makes it hard to leave.
Do you have any other places in Denver that you go and perform, or do you just go to the Comedy Works?
No, I perform all over.
Okay.
I mean, I don't do the improv much. Comedy Works is so hard to get in. When I got here, I said, hey, I really just want to be a part of what you got going here. If you put me on the pro list, I'll never even work the improv. But I don't really want to work the improv, for being honest. That was kind of a bullshit. Like, no one gives a fuck. And the improv is more urban.
I didn't even know there was an improv here.
Yeah, but they book.
Is that the Voodoo, or is that another one?
No, Voodoo's just like a little place downtown that does shows. So I do a lot of bar shows, a lot of brewery shows. The improv's cool. They do more urban. They're pretty much all black shows, which I could do. I actually prefer like a black crowd over. Whereas if I do the South Club, it's really like rich white people, which sometimes I get in trouble with because they want to get upset about shit. Where like if you have a black crowd, they'll fucking. Black people ain't writing no Yelp reviews about a fucking joke, It's fucking white people writing Yelp reviews about your black joke, which is like, you don't fucking... that's the shit you hate. But no, as a comedian, I'll perform anywhere. Just anywhere I can, get $50. It's not that glamorous. It's a survival thing. It's what I always say. You're like broke, surviving. Oh, this is pretty good. Rich. If you can just ride it out, to see like guys like Bert and Tom and guys that I used to open for. I used to open for Sebastian, 150 people, and he sells out Madison Square Garden. So, but you don't become employee of the month, assistant manager. One day your life just changes. So, and this podcast world is what's changing.
Well, we're gonna get you that Airey Bros bump. So
yeah, that's what I needed.
Get you that Joe Rogan money.
I'll take it. You guys already paid me more than anybody. You gave me a mango. This is the best thing I've ever got.
I think there's one other thing that we might have in common. I don't know. I might have misheard.
He speaks for himself on this
Yeah.
one.
Back in your Vegas days, you used to be a bit of a massage parlor connoisseur.
Yeah, of course. I still would if I loved him, man. It was like I didn't know anything about him, and then one day my bosses are like, "Yo," it was like a Tuesday at like 1 o'clock. He's like, "You can go in there and get a hand job." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Here," he told me what to do. Gave me $100, and I went in. He gave me and my buddy that also worked for him. And we were just two dumb hicks from Wyoming. We're like, "What?" And we went in there, and I remember walking out at like fucking an hour later, like looking at each other, like, "For real?" Like, "For real?" I was like, "Oh." Then I became hooked on it because it was great because you go out and try to get laid, and then if you can't, you'd hit a massage parlor on the way home. And at that time, I had all the money from when I was gambling, so $100 to me didn't mean shit. So I would just go get a massage, and then the next day, even though I had money, I would wake up sometimes and be like, "Why did I do that?" I got jerked off. I had $100. I could have bought some shoes or something, but I definitely liked him. And then I had a bad one though. You ever have a bad one happen?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
I had a bad time. I never got the upgrade. I always just got the hand job. But then one time,
I'm a smooth talker.
oh yeah, one time I was super drunk and this girl was like, "Yeah, you want a blowjob?" I was like, "All right." She's like, $100. I was like, "All right." So then she pulled out because I was so drunk that I couldn't like stay hard, and she'd be like, "You too drunk," I was like, "No, I'm good." And her arms are getting tired and shit. She's just working hard. And then she's like, "You want blowjob?" I was like, "All right." And then she puts a condom on me. And then she goes down, just blows me like one time, and I go limp, and she takes the condom off. And I was like, and then she goes back to hand job, and I eventually come, and then I stand up, and she's like, "Okay, $200. I was like, "No, you didn't. That doesn't count for a blowjob." And I'm still pretty drunk, and I'm like, it's just awkward arguing with them. So I kind
just walk out.
I kind of look down, and this bitch just hauled off and slapped me in the face as hard as she fucking could. And I was like, okay, I'll go next door and get 100. And then I just ran out the door, got in my car, and just never went back to that one. But man, she hit me good.
Yeah, there's a spot. I had been traveling. I'd been back east for a while, and I just got out of the Uber and just had a hankering to get.
Yeah.
And chick was like, "You want a half hour or an hour?" And I was like, "Well, I fucking want an hour. Like,
Yeah.
I want a good massage too." And then so she did the hour massage, and then she was like, "Okay." And like, I'm like, she's like, "You'll be here." She's I don't know if it was late for her or whatever, but she was like pissed, and so she went in and did it anyway. But
she
was
did?
not happy about it. And then she was like trying to negotiate for more money, and I was like.
Yeah, see, that's what my boss taught me in the beginning. So I think our massage was like 55 or 60. So he said you just take in 100, you pay for that, then they'll put your change over on the desk, and then when it's hand job time, they'll try to upsell you for like 100, and you just point to your change, and then they'll just do it. And then they're always like, "You cop?" Like, no. And they're like, "What you want?" And I was like, "Just do." It's so hard to communicate with them. They barely speak English, but then they just pointed the money, and then some people get mad at me for this, but. Who cares? These girls they just want to make money and jerking a dude off. Who cares?
Do they?
Well, I don't know. I mean, $100 for an hour. I don't. That's
but
more
how
than
much are they getting?
Well, I don't.
That's where the moral police come in, and then you start thinking about like sex trafficking and all that stuff. So
I like to just think that they get all the money.
All right.
At least the
tip. I'm going to try that next
At least
time.
the tip.
So here's another funny one. There was a spot back home that I used to go to. And I had literally been there probably within 2 weeks or a month prior, and a friend of the longtime friend, I went to school with his son, elementary school all through high school, and then I had at the time was teaching special ed and coaching at a different school, so we coached against one another, and I get a phone call from my mother that this gentleman was in the newspaper because he got picked up.
Lost his pension.
He got picked up
really
at the place, literally like I said, within 2 weeks to a month of me being there at the same location. Damn. And it's like, can you believe he did that? And it's like, I can't.
That's funny.
I thought he was such a good guy.
I haven't gone in probably 12 years, but I remember at the time my girlfriend's like, "Oh no, I'm cool. You can go." But I didn't believe her. I never went. Or if I did, I would have kept it secret. But I haven't gone. I wanted to go in Wyoming. In Cheyenne, they opened up one.